Hello everyone and welcome to this Learn to Rock It video. Today we're going to be talking about how to buy premium or designer denim and what you're looking for in terms of fit. So just basically a couple basic tips. I'm not going to get into specifics about, the pocket placement on your rear end or how to give it certain looks, but I will say that, I'm coming from an understanding that obviously girl's body is different, and then thus, every pair of jeans is going to fit you differently. So these are some things to keep in mind, while you're in the fitting room, while you're shopping, looking for that perfect pair of jeans. So first off, I'm going to talk about the stretch factor. All premium denim is going to have at least 2% spandex in it, which means it's going to end up stretching as you wear it. So, probably the biggest mistake that people make when they buy jeans is that they get them too big, not accounting for the fact that they are going to end up stretching. And I know it's hard when you're in the fitting room and you're in these super tight jeans and you're staring at yourself in the mirror like, am I seriously going to wear these out in public? Well, just know that they're not going to end up looking like that. And that's true for every designer denim out there except for DL 1961 jeans. The way that they fit you in the fitting room is how they're going to stay, and that's for another time, but I encourage you to research that because they kind of use this new technology with their spandex. I have my lovely model, Kayla Stute, here today, and I'm going to talk about the two things that we look at first. Okay, your jeans are going to stretch mainly in the legs and hips area, but a little bit in the waist. So but we still don't want the waist to be too big. So if you want to face the back for me. Okay, when looking at jeans, always pinch the back, and I want to, make sure that there's a little bit of a pinch there, but not too much more. That way it's not cutting off or becoming painful on her hips. There still's a little give there, but at the same time, it's still pretty snug because it's not going to stretch a ton in this waist area. Now, the main part I'm concerned about is all right here. This is where people usually feel like it looks too tight, and so they go up a size, but this is exactly where it should be very snug. I want to see these lines of creasing here as long as it's not, going all the way down to her knee. Then I'd probably have her try a size up. I want to make sure that I don't have too much material here to grab. Now, these jeans are, yes, they're stretchy material, and these are not, her first time wearing them. So this is typically a little more than I like starting off, but that's okay because these have already had a little bit of stretch to them, so that's perfect. But I want to see extra tightness here because this is exactly where it's going to stretch, that first car ride as she's sitting down or walking or, whatever, is doing just the daily errands of life. This is the biggest factor of stretch right here. However, like I said, every body type can be different. So if you have the envious, really tiny waist and curvy hips and legs, the important thing is that you're fitting to your legs and your hips. If you have more room in your waist or gapping, that's very simple for any alterations, place to take in the waist a little bit. But for those of us who don't have as curvy as a figure, it is important that the waist doesn't have a lot of gapping there. Okay, so this is, your hard-earned money, so I want to make sure you're getting what you're paying for. You've saved up, or you're investing a lot in this pair of, designer denim you've chosen. So I want to talk a little bit about making it last. In terms of color, I'm sure this is kind of somewhat common knowledge, but the first time you wash them, if you wash your jeans with a half of cup of vinegar, it helps maintain the dye in your jeans. Also, washing them inside out in cold water is a huge factor. Do not dry your jeans, whatever you do. I used to think, oh, I can just dry my jeans and they felt snug and smaller, but it really only lasts for like 20 minutes and it kind of blows out all in that area underneath, the legs and the thighs, exactly where you don't want the stretch to happen. So the reason it does that is because the heat from the dryer actually ruins the spandex in your denim, and that's what causes, has the cute shape on your body. So what I typically do is I'll let mine air dry and still maybe tumble them a few minutes just to soften them up a little bit. The first time you wash your jeans, you typically will lose a little bit of length, usually about 1/4 of an inch. So keep that in mind if you plan on having them taken up at all or altered. They usually suggest washing them first and then bringing them in so that you can account for that shrinkage factor. Also today, Kayla and I are both wearing a pair of rich and skinny jeans. They're super soft and have a lot of great stretchiness to them. I'd like to give a special thanks to the beautiful, gorgeous, lovely model and friend of mine, Kayla Stute. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us today, and good luck buying that perfect pair of jeans.